Hey everybody, it's Jenny, and I am here with you today for a few stamping and inky tips that you can use in your Happy Planner. Now, I am using these Distress Oxide inks from Ranger. They're really fun. I'm also using these little blending tools. The little foam pieces are interchangeable. I'm also going to be using a roll of washi tape, a few small stencils, and then I'll be using a couple of other things as well, including some cardstock scraps, just some scraps, and then this hexagon punch from Fiskars. And of course, I'll be using my stamp blocks and my Versafine, and then a couple of other little things in as well. So like I mentioned, those foam little pieces are interchangeable. They stick to the blending tool with Velcro, and I am placing some old washi tape down on the page, and I am just placing it around those lines for the boxes. I'm putting down my craft mat slash sheet or whatever. You can see it's really not that big. It's just a really good way to keep your work surface clean. It wipes off so easily, and you can usually get them for very inexpensive. They're really a great tool to have. I will try to find one and link it up for you below. So I'm just blending this Distress Oxide ink. This Distress Oxide is a hybrid between pigment and dye ink. One of the really cool things about it is that if you do like little water splatters on it, it's the coolest effect. Now, I'm not doing that here because I don't want any warping on my planner pages. However, it's really cool, and I absolutely think that I might try it at some point in my planner. I just wanted to share with you though some of the fun tricks that we can do. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this stencil. So I'm just covering up the other words that are next to the word today so that I can just highlight the word today. And then also the tape will keep the stencil from moving around. So I'm just blending the ink around, just making sure it looks smooth and then we're not seeing any different little lines, just kind of like you saw down there below in the purple as well. It's just a simple way to add color and interest to your page without going crazy. So if you've bought any inks for stamping, you can use them in this exact same way and with absolutely no cost. And I'll show you in a little bit how I do it with just a punch as well if you don't have any stencils. But I just shared with you how you can do it with simply washi tape in that whole box. And you wouldn't have to do the whole box as well. You could definitely do other little areas as well. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to add color instead of using like a full box sticker or something like that. So again, another stencil. Now this time I'm doing the same thing that I did first. I'm going to run the washi tape along the lines. That means that this pattern that I'm using, I'm going to be able to just keep the pattern inside the one box. So my stencil is larger than that. I could do it more on the page. However, I only want the pattern to show inside this one box. So I'm inking it up and giving it a healthy amount of ink because I really want the colors to be vibrant. Now, keeping in mind, you do have to be careful. You don't want to smear the ink or anything like that. So you just have to be careful to not touch it while it dries. It definitely has a drying time, but if you're careful and you don't touch it, it's really not a problem. And I consider myself a super messy crafter, and so just keeping in mind to not touch it is key. Now I'm going to clean the stencil off. I simply put a baby wipe down on the bottom and wipe it with another baby wipe. I'm able to get all of the ink off and then not make a mess of my craft space as well. I did clean it up a little bit, and then I'm just drying it with the sleeve of my sweatshirt. Now you can see how, okay, so 3 different techniques. Well, I mean, I guess 2 techniques. Okay, fine. But now I'm going to just add a little bit of washi tape for decoration over here on the right-hand page, since I am going to show you how I decorated an entire week just using stamps and stencils. Now I'm taking a simple piece of cardstock and I punched a hexagon. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the other stencils. I'm going to add some washi tape just to make sure that I don't get ink on the page. It stays in my stencil, and then also it keeps my stencil from moving around. It holds it in place. And I know what you're thinking, oh, how hard is that? Well, it's a little harder when you're trying to avoid getting ink everywhere and not getting your fingers in the ink, so the washi tape really helps that a lot. So I'll just go ahead and I'll peel that up, and then I'm going to tear off that section. But I'm only going to do that because I don't want to get ink all over the place, and I am very cognizant of how messy I am. So I'm just punching a different part of a hexagon in a cardstock. This is just a little scrap that I had left over, and now I'm going to switch to my green ink. Now this one handle can accommodate a limitless amount of the little pads, and so you can take those off and adhere them over and over again. I like to keep a separate one for each color ink, and I just keep them in a drawer in my desk. Now so far it's turned out super cute, and I'm going to just do the same thing again for the third time, and I'll adhere my hexagon little stencil down with my washi tape. And again, this is just a punched piece from a piece of cardstock. So it's nothing expensive, nothing I went out and bought, just things that I already had, a little scrap of paper, and then a punch that I was already using. So I went ahead and I blended the ink carefully, and I just allow myself to have a good time. It's really fun. It's kind of like that painting thing. You just feel really artistic, and it adds a really fun, beautiful quality, and you are only defined by how many colors of ink you have. So it's definitely one of those things that sky's the limit in terms of your creativity. Now I'm adding a little bit more washi tape in the upper left-hand corner, just again for decoration, and I am going to also continue on showing you how I'm going to decorate this week. Now, like I said, I'm going to try to stick to stencils and stamps this week. I just want to show you how fun it can be to get inky in your planner. Now this is a Happy Planner stamp. I'm using Versafine ink, and you saw that I prepped it by rubbing it on the back of my hand. I applied firm, even pressure, not too much ink, not too much pressure, and simply put those bullet points there. Then now I have put my activities on there as well. So now I'm going to continue this all throughout, and I have just going to add another little bullet point at the top. I know we get a little excited, like we have to add all these great stickers and use all kinds of different things, but simple bullet points will help you outline different activities and events in your Happy Planner. Now, I use them a lot because I like to break up the stickers. So bullet points help me do that. It helps keep a lot of white space and keep my eye moving around because it allows for just removing a little bit of the visual weight. And bullet points, you usually get like 100 on a sheet, so using those, you really get a lot of bang for your buck with bullet points, that's for sure. So I'm just continuing. That's all I'm going to use is the bullet points. I absolutely could have used something else. It was not imperative that I only used bullet points. I just wanted to show you how you can use those for planning and how they can pair with all kinds of other different things as well. I'm going to do my best to link you up to all the products I used today so you can check those out, read reviews, see what kinds of things they are, and hopefully I'll be able to find most of them. I know that Scraptastic Club is not open right now, and so those stencils, I can't link you to the ones that she has. However, you can use some Happy Planner ones or find some different ones on Etsy or wherever else. Now I'm just placing that sticker in the weekend. I thought it was kind of a fun little way to change it up a little tiny bit and then also use one of those whole weekend stickers. Now this is a stamp that is a little bit bigger than the boxes. So what I'm doing is I am going to go ahead and mask off the area that I don't want any ink to get. So I want the ink to stay inside this one box. So I've simply just added washi tape around those corners so that I can keep it right there. Now I'm going to place the stamp on my stamping block, and at first I choose the wrong one. This one is a little bit too small, so I'm going to have to choose a larger stamp block for my stamp, but that's no problem. I have a variety of them in my stash. Now I'm going to add ink to the stamp, and you can see I get lots of ink on there. Now not too much. It's not, you don't want to over ink it. And then I'm going to apply firm pressure throughout the entire stamp. Now you can see I didn't do a good job in the center, and that's common with larger stamps. But the reason I'm leaving this here is because I wanted to share with you how A, at the end of the week, it's really not a big deal, and B, it happens to everybody. I've been stamping super regularly since 2011, and you're going to have that occasionally. Now I'm just putting this super cute little reminder down in the left-hand corner to drink more water. Is that not adorable? Everybody needs a little reminder, am I right? And then now I'm going to use this stencil to put my to-do lists through Monday through Friday as well. It's an easy, easy, inexpensive way to make sure that you can add all the lines for the things that you need to get done if you are a list maker like me. So I'm just changing up where I'm placing the lists and getting all of those things accomplished for the week. I love how it all turned out. It was very simple to do. It was very basic with hardly any, what's the word, consumable products. They're all things I can use over and over again. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this look at stencils and ink. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment box below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you so much and make it a great day.